Right, so picture this. You're at the Conservative Party conference. The atmosphere is tense, political knives are being sharpened, and everyone's waiting for someone to throw the first proper punch. Then Robert Jenrick steps up to the podium, and instead of the usual political waffle about policy and principles, he absolutely obliterates David Lammy with what might be the most savage takedown British politics has seen in years. And the best part? He didn't use policy disagreements. He didn't mention voting records. No, he went straight for Celebrity Mastermind. Yes, that Celebrity Mastermind. The one where David Lammy thought Marie Antoinette won a Nobel Prize in physics. Stick around because this is political theater at its absolute finest, and trust me, you're going to want to hear how brutal this actually got. So let's set the scene properly. Robert Jenrick, Shadow Justice Secretary, Conservative rising star, standing in front of a room full of Tory members in Manchester, and has got that look in his eye. You know the one. The look that says, I've been saving this for months, and it's finally time to unleash it. And unleash it he did. Jenrick opens with a line so perfectly delivered it could have been written by a comedy scriptwriter. David Lammy has a somewhat checkered past. Now, in political speak, that's basically code for buckle up, this is about to get messy. And messy it got, but not in the way you'd expect. Here's where it gets absolutely golden. Instead of dragging up parliamentary mishaps or policy blunders, Jenrick goes nuclear with a Celebrity Mastermind appearance. Now, if you've somehow missed this cultural moment, let me paint you a picture. David Lammy, current Foreign Secretary, sitting in that iconic black chair under the spotlight, specialist subject presumably something he actually knows about, and then the general knowledge round happens. First question, which famous blue cheese is paired with port? Simple enough, right? The answer's Stilton. Everyone knows Stilton. Your nan knows Stilton. Even people who hate cheese know Stilton. David Lammy's answer? Red Leicester. Red Leicester. Not even blue. That's like being asked about a Ferrari and answering with a tractor. But wait, because it gets so much worse. Next question drops, and this is where things go from mildly embarrassing to absolutely legendary. Which Marie won the Nobel Prize for physics? Now, there's really only one famous Marie associated with Nobel Prizes, right? Marie Curie, the woman who literally discovered radioactivity, one of the most famous scientists in human history. But David Lammy, without missing a beat, confidently says Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette, the French queen, the cake lady, the one who got her head chopped off during the French Revolution. Apparently, between losing her head and becoming a historical cautionary tale, she also found time to revolutionize physics. Who knew? But Jenrick wasn't finished. Oh no, he had one more arrow in his quiver, and this one might be the most painful of all. The question, which monarch succeeded Henry VIII? Now, this is literally GCSE history, primary school stuff. The answer is Edward VI, Henry's son. It's not complicated. But Lammy's answer? Henry VII. Let that sink in for a second. He suggested that the monarch who came before Henry VIII somehow succeeded him. That's like saying your dad is your son. It's temporally impossible. It defies the basic laws of chronology. Time doesn't work backwards. David. Now here's where Jenrick absolutely sticks a landing. After methodically destroying Lammy with his own words, he delivers what might be the political burn of the decade. I'm not sure Mastermind was a show for David. Perhaps he could try Pointless. He would work as both a contestant and an answer. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. For those not familiar with Pointless, it's a quiz show where you want to give the most obscure correct answer. But Jenrick suggesting Lammy himself will be a pointless answer, meaning nobody would think of him. That's not just a burn. That's a cremation. That's political roasting at Olympic level. But let's talk about what makes this moment absolutely fascinating beyond just laughs. This isn't really about quiz shows or general knowledge. This is about political strategy, and Jenrick played it perfectly. In an era where political attacks usually revolve around policy disagreements that put half the audience to sleep, Jenrick went for something everyone can understand and everyone can laugh at. You don't need to understand foreign policy or economic theory to appreciate someone spectacularly failing at basic general knowledge. It's universally relatable. We've all had brain freeze moments, but most of us haven't had them recorded on national television. What's more, this attack is brilliantly difficult to defend against. If Lammy responds, he looks thin-skinned. If he ignores it, it lingers. If he tries to laugh it off, people remember the actual answers he gave. It's the perfect political mousetrap. Jenrick's essentially weaponized embarrassment, and there's no good countermove. It's chess, but instead of pieces, you're playing with someone's dignity. And let's be honest about the timing here. This happened at a Conservative conference where the party is trying to rebuild, refocus, and remind everyone why they should be taken seriously in opposition. What better way to energize your base than giving them something to laugh about? Something to share? Something that makes the opposition look ridiculous? Jenrick didn't just score political points. He created a viral moment. This is the kind of clip that gets shared across social media, replayed on news channels, and referenced in pub conversation for months. The really delicious irony in all this? David Lammy is actually a Cambridge graduate. He's not an unintelligent person, which somehow makes a mastermind disaster even more entertaining. It's like watching a professional athlete trip over their own shoelaces. The gap between expectation and reality creates comedy gold. But beyond the laughs and the burns, this moment tells us something about modern British politics. We're in an era where viral moments matter just as much as policy positions, where a devastating one-liner can be more damaging than a policy critique, where politicians need to be entertainers as much as legislators. Jenrick understood this perfectly. He didn't bore his audience with statistics or policy papers. He gave them theater. He gave them something memorable. And in politics, being memorable is half the battle. So there you have it. Robert Jenrick took David Lammy's mastermind appearance, which happened years ago, and turned it into a political weapon that landed with devastating precision at the Tory conference. It's savage, it's hilarious, and it's exactly the kind of political entertainment that reminds us why we can't look away from this stuff. Whether you're Team Jenrick or Team Lammy, you've got to admit that was masterfully executed political brutality. Thanks for watching UK Secrets. If you enjoyed this breakdown of political savagery, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next time British politics delivers comedy gold. And drop a comment telling me your favorite political burn of all time. Cheers.